Like everybody knows, we are able to do this video series from the microgrant from the town of the Blue Mountains and Bloomberg Philanthropies, but what we didn't tell you is there are 7 other projects, and this episode focuses on highlighting all of them.
Yep.
The grant recipients are all between the ages of 15 and 24.
I do know.
That is what youth is defined as here.
So we're hoping that by showing you these other projects, you can start to brainstorm and think about what you might do if you apply with this grant money, or if you don't have it, make some action of your own.
Yeah, and a big takeaway that we've learned over the course of this project, and we had a suspicion about, but it was confirmed, is that youth voices are absent from the table here when it comes to taking climate action, and we want to make sure that these voices are amplified. So it's really important for us today that you get to see all of the other amazing youth who are doing really important work for our community. So it's important that they are a part of the decision making.
Perfect.
Okay. Now we are going to learn about other projects.
Yay.
Is it recording? Yeah.
I hope so.
Looks like we're out for a jog. Atticus, where are we?
We are at the corner of Alice and Beaver Street, planting a tiny forest.
Wow.
And representing Jaden's Climate Action Fund program.
There are 169 trees being planted in this small plot of land using a tiny forest planting method that we're excited for Jaden to tell us a little more about.
Start over. What is a tiny forest?
A tiny forest is a community of trees and shrubs packed tightly together in an urban setting based on the Milwaukee method.
Maybe we should get,
Jaden should talk about that.
Jaden should probably tell us what a tiny forest is.
We can't wait to hear about it from him.
But he's so busy planting these trees. Check it out. Look.
Okay, Jaden, thanks for being here, or thank you more so for inviting us here. What is this?
So this is it's a Japanese planting style. It's called the Milwaukee method. It's a really densely planted forest with all species from the area. And the idea is that it grows very fast as we're coming into winter. They're all gonna fight for nutrients in the ground. Once we get warm again, they'll all fight for the sun, and they grow like 2-3 times faster than traditional planting.
Interesting. Yeah. What made you even want to participate? What is it about climate action that you feel is so important to be a part of?
Honestly, in the beginning, like I didn't have a huge interest in it beforehand. I was just kind of like, well, gotta put something on my resume sort of idea, but as I've spent so much time and working on this project, and all the people I've had to talk to, and a lot of them are very passionate about this sort of thing, as they seem to be. I've grown to really enjoy talking about it and just the whole thing. So I'm hoping I can do future projects, maybe not just like this, but something similar.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's really cool that you actually came from a place of not knowing a ton about the climate space, and now you're inspired to continue to get involved. Yeah. That's incredible. Well, thank you for inviting us here today, and we're really excited to see your project grow and what it turns out to be.
Yes, I'm hoping it works out.
It will.
Yes.
This is honestly incredible.
I'm hopeful. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
High five. Yay. Atticus, guess where we are today?
Well, this is pretty obvious. We're at Peasmarsh Trail outside of Thornbury.
We are here to meet another Youth Climate Action Fund grant recipient group. This time it is the Envirothon Club from St. Mary's High School in Owen Sound, and they are putting up bat boxes in Peasmarsh to help the bat habitat here. So we're really excited to learn about it because I know nothing about bats.
Neither do I, but let's go see. So we are at the location of the newest housing development going in at Peasmarsh Beach. But who's the housing for?
It's for the little brown bat. Our whole goal is to sustain the environment and then gate stains. So with the bat, they are natural pollinators and they're also endangered species. So they help the climate a lot by sustaining the environment, pollinating, and they leave stuff in the soil that helps with the carbon.
Fantastic. And when you're walking around the Peasmarsh, how did you decide where to put the bat boxes? What's the best spot for them?
The trees had to be both tall enough and sturdy enough, but they also had to be in an area where there could be enough sunlight, because for bat boxes, they want to get 8 hours is the most sunlight we really want, but 5 to 6 hours still works because it's supposed to help with heating and all that stuff for them. So a lot of the times you want to face them south and east kind of way.
So that was another part, we had to think about that. And because we're kind of getting close to winter, we also had to think about when spring comes back around, how many leaves are going to be growing back in, which might block out all the trees. So there was like a lot of stuff that went into picking all of the places for the process.
And then my last question for you three would be, what can other youth your age do to be involved in sustainability and climate action?
So there's a lot you can do, and I know it can seem daunting given the size of climate change and how it affects everyone, but one of the biggest things is just learning how it impacts different species and the environment as a whole. And then from there, doing the 3 R's we do, recycle, reuse.
Even if it's just something small as making sure your garbage goes into the trash can.
So for me, one big thing that I see people doing is throwing away Ziploc bags. Now in my household, my mom has always been very adamant that we wash our Ziploc bags and we reuse them because they're such a big source of waste when they are something that can be reusable. And if you're just throwing them out after single use, that really contributes to that waste. And you have to think about not just the impact of throwing away that one plastic bag, but everything that came before that. Collecting the materials to make the bag, the transportation of the bag, how it got to you, and what's going to happen to it afterwards. Those are all important considerations.
We made it around such a crazy hike through Peace Marsh, and
I finally caught up with you.
Yeah,
My God.
I'm a pretty fast walker.
Have you seen the length of those legs?
Super long, way bigger than a bat.
Oh, yeah.
Because bats live in there. And there's 9 bat boxes through the Peace Marsh forest. In the wintertime, we're not expecting to see much, but they hope in the spring the bats will be coming in and making a little home. And that's super important because the climate crisis is affecting way more than just humans. So this group is making habitat restorations for an endangered species, and not only just 300 to 400 bats, but on a good day, 600 bats can fit in there.
And they will track if bats are actually living in them by looking at droppings below. So we encourage the community to come out, walk along the trail, find these boxes, and help the Envirothon Club see what is going on in the Peace Marsh. We've got to go. More Youth Climate Action Fund projects to see.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Hey Katie, welcome to the next stop of the Youth Climate Action Fund tour. Our stop here is Justin Thornbury at the Events for Life organization. We're going to talk to Abby and Chandler about what they're doing with the climate grant.
So Events for Life is a not-for-profit organization. We work with individuals within the community that have varying mental and physical disabilities. So we run a day program for them. So within a day-to-day, they might be doing activities like culinary. They might be making some cool crafts in here, burning beakers, so like some cool science experiments. Cool. We also learn sign language. So that's kind of like what day programming kind of looks like. We also offer like work experience for the participants so that they're involved within the community.
And we're here today to talk about the Youth Climate Action Fund, and you have a lot of participants. You also have youth on your staff. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping you could talk about why you applied for this grant and what you guys are doing with it.
I guess we were, looking for something new to do with the participants. Yeah. Sustainability is something that we should all work towards, so why not include it in our day-to-day programming?
Yeah. Doing field trips, for example. Yeah. What has your favorite one been, and are there any fun stories that your participants got to experience?
Yeah. I guess for me, just seeing how involved, the participants get into it. So we had a speaker come and visit us. His name was Arnis, and he kind of exposed us to the pollinator gardens.
Cool.
And he took us to the Beaver Valley Community School, where he showed all of his flower beds that he created for the school. And just seeing all the participants like fully engaged, wanting to learn about the different plants, how butterflies come and visit them. And it was a cool experience to just see the participants kind of light up when you're talking about these topics and how involved they get in with these things. So it's awesome to just see them so involved, which is really cool.
And this is a question that we're asking everybody, but in your opinion, what can a community member do to get more involved with sustainability and social impact?
Our big thing is continuous learning.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how old you are or your capabilities, try to make the world a better place. Yeah. That's what we kind of enthrall here at Events for Life, and just being kind to people, the environment, and, everything.
What about you, Abby?
Yeah, if you're local, it's always good to ask questions about what people are doing and what's going on, and ways to help out. So,
Absolutely.
Just reaching out to other organizations is a great first step.
Thank you for your time today, and we're so excited to read your newsletter and understand more about what you've been doing, and keep in touch.
Sweet.
Sweet. Thank you. Did you have so much fun?
What a wonderful conversation.
It was so great to learn about what is actually going on here, because I've learned a bit about it, but I never knew in depth just how impactful and how much work is going on.
Yes, and they reminded us that the best thing you can do for sustainability is to be open to anything new and continue to learn and get involved with local organizations just like this one.
Anyways, I'm gonna head to the next Youth Climate Action Fund group, but I'll let you close it off.
I'll meet you there. We are here at the next stop of our Youth Climate Action Tour to meet Jacob, the Mad Marker scientist who is working with Zoe on this project.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Atticus. My name is Jacob. I recently finished Teachers College and moved back to the Thornbury area where I grew up and went to high school. Me and my project partner Zoe are working on creating a refillable ink for dry erase markers. When I was in Teachers College, I noticed how many expo markers we were going through. So right now we're trying to experiment with different plants in the area. Some are native, some are invasive. We have buckthorn berry, we have wild grapeberry, we have pokeweed berry, I forget the dogwood berry. We are soaking various wool sponges within our inks, and some of these inks contain alcohol or oils as well, and just testing to see what kind of mix gives us the best results.
Or any dry erase marker, it has this weird synthetic sponge on the inside. This is what you came up with, or where'd you get that from?
Exactly. So when we took apart the markers, we realized there's these nibs that release the ink and these plastic sponges inside them. We're trying to come up with a natural alternative. Wool, Canadian wool, a lot of farmers have trouble getting rid of it, so I think it's super important to bring more applications and industries in Canada that use these products. So yeah, and we're soaking it within our ink batches, putting it into the end of these markers and seeing what the end result looks like. So we're trying to promote this and bring more awareness to this within different schools and to youth in our community and even further. So far, we've went into GBCS a couple times and actually just created a poster, which is just really bringing awareness to why it's important, what the implications of single-use plastics are, and how devastating microplastics are. And we're also hoping to do a few tie-dye workshops with youth in the community, just to talk to them about the importance of using natural dyes for our clothes. Wish, watch out, this might spray.
Actually, I just want to say, as we're dyeing, these colors are beautiful, so kudos to you. How can members of the community get involved in sustainability, in your opinion?
One, maybe just going outside for a walk, trying to connect more with the land, and then also looking for places in your community, maybe groups in your community, or even trying to start a group within your community where you can connect with like-minded people and just try to envision these things together.
That's a great message, and thanks for tie-dyeing with us today and showing us your awesome project. Look at this beautiful shirt.
Oh my God.
Sweet. Okay, we are here at another Youth Climate Action Fund youth event, and today we are here with Sage to learn a little bit about the project that he's working on and why he wanted to get involved.
All right, hi, I'm Sage, and I wanted to run a Youth Climate Action Summit. So when I'd heard about this grant, I went to one of the initial meetings, not with a clear idea in mind of where I kind of saw this project going. And then when I showed up, there was, a ton of great people who were there to help. There was the mayor, the sustainability coordinator, and, a ton of other folks from local not-for-profits and grant writing specialists. And so the idea behind this was to kind of get youth together and have an opportunity for them to network with local organizations who are doing great work, and kind of pairing youth who are looking to get involved either through paid full-time or part-time opportunities, or
Volunteer
hours for high school students or what have you.
What is it about the climate and sustainability space that you're interested in? Why did you want to get involved in the first place?
I've always been pretty interested in climate and sustainability. I worked with youth through summer camps and whatnot, doing guiding canoe trips and being really involved with like pretty remote areas of our country, and gained a pretty deep respect for the climate. And so I really wanted to make sure that going forward, those places were preserved.
What do you think youth and community members can do to get more involved with sustainability and climate action in our area?
I think within our area, there's a ton of opportunities. And so I think just kind of keeping your ears open, even in small ways, everything makes a difference. And I think that just showing up allows you to be more informed and create in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Well, we've had a great time at this event. We're excited to see more events that you're going to host in the future, and we're excited to continue this project. So
thank you so much for coming.
Awesome. I feel like we've gone on a bit of a journey the past few months together, Atticus.
We have.
I'm so glad we've had the opportunity to do this, because we've been able to apply our passions for climate action to help engage other members of the community, but also feel reconnected to the community. I felt like I've been able to make a direct community impact, and I think that's what this grant was really all about. And overall, we're grateful to Bloomberg Philanthropies and the town of the Blue Mountains for giving us the opportunity to take you on this journey with us. We hope you have learned as much as we have over the past few months, and we're excited to see you again.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thank you. Bye.